Hello everyone and welcome to doTERRA U, the official podcast of doTERRA Europe. Today I'm interviewing Alex DaBell and I cannot wait to get started. Alex, thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be with you.
Okay, so obviously we have these VMGs, so I think we should just get started.
Let's do it.
To start us off, can you share a little bit of your background, maybe what drawn you into the world of wellness, nutrition?
Yeah, a little bit of myself. I mean, I grew up kind of a curious guy, family of 9 kids, and living in the Western United States with mountains and things. So I always had a bit of a curiosity for how things work. Of course, enjoy the world around. But I noticed when I got to high school, I noticed in my classes that I had a particular interest and affinity for chemistry, for anatomy, physiology, those types of things. And it worked well because with my curiosity and understanding how things work, it translated into the body, into health and wellness. And then that just kind of developed through into college and I saw some opportunities to really pursue this as far as my own personal interests, and then that translated into needs in the world and in the marketplace. And so that's kind of where the interest grew from, and then professional opportunities came about from there.
So Alex, we've just launched VMG Plus, a convention. Can you please tell us a bit more about what inspired you to create this product?
Yeah, there's a few reasons we put VMG Plus together. We, of course, recognize the importance of micronutrient support. So at its core, VMG provides nutrients that all of our bodies need. Historically, when there have been these deficiencies of micronutrients, you start to see an accumulation of disease states in the population. And people recognize this over time. And so you have certain nutrients, like, for example, a vitamin. The term vitamin is really compound from 2 different terms, vital, amine. And people, scientists and medical professionals recognize that when you don't have these micronutrients, you have the deficiency that builds up and it accelerates aging. It accelerates the development of different disease states. So it's been very well established that these nutrients are needed for everyone. And so we thought, well, what is a way that we can efficiently deliver these to people in the most effective forms, in a format that is enjoyable for them to use, that it's convenient. At doTERRA, people love sharing our products with one another. So we want it to be shareable, that people can build a business with. And so all of these different factors come together and it kind of starts to inform what the product might look like, because we want to be able to check all these different boxes. And we've been able to, over the years, I've been doing involved with research and development in nutritional biochemistry for a couple of decades. And so you start to gather an awareness of what's available as far as the latest science and technology, the latest delivery formats. And we wanted to incorporate those things into VMG Plus in a way that we haven't done before at doTERRA.
Okay, so Alex, can we actually take a step back and talk about foundational wellness and what it means for us, please?
Yeah. When we think about foundational wellness, it's really combining 2 different terms. To have complete wellness, we need to have a strong foundation. And when we think of the wellness chart, at the base of the wellness chart, we have nutrition and digestion. So at doTERRA, we're very intentional about promoting not only amazing products, but also healthy lifestyle choices. And so things like getting enough sleep, avoiding environmental exposure to different toxins, or getting our daily movement to support metabolism. At the base of the wellness chart, VMG Plus combined with healthy dietary choices are really going to help support the foundational wellness that everything else is built on.
That's beautiful. So does it mean that anything else that we're doing on top in terms of supplements, does it mean it works better for us?
It does work better. And if we don't have that strong foundation, then the other things, you can imagine, a tower that it is more prone to tipping over. And so we get a much better return on the investment when we have that solid foundation.
So why do you believe it's important to focus on foundational wellness and not just cherry pick a few supplements here and there when I need it?
Yeah, we really need to address wellness as a holistic approach. And so you see that in our product offering, but when people try to kind of maybe cut corners, take a shortcut, and they're thinking, maybe I don't have to worry about this. In the short term, you might be able to get away with a few things like that, but it catches up with you, especially over time. The things will start to compound, the challenges will start to compound, and it starts to erode what wellness looks like for you. So it's important to be mindful of the little details.
Yeah, I think it's just sometimes it's easier for people to be wanting a quick, shortcut. Like, okay, I need this, let me just get that, without necessarily looking at the bigger picture. But this is what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. If you cut corners, you're not going to get the same results that you are hoping for.
Yeah. So let's just talk about this product more and more. What makes it special?
There are a few things about VMG that make it unique. Not just different, but uniquely effective and one of a kind, really, in all the world. When I think of what makes it special, it's almost like asking, do you have a favorite child?
I was about to think that.
I think about this with my children, and depending on the day, sometimes I do have a favorite child. But there are a few aspects of VMG Plus that really stand out as key differentiators. And I think the nutrient sources is a key differentiator. Our intentional support for cellular health and wellness is really important. And then our bioavailability boosting, I think those three components, and maybe to give a little bit more detail on those. We have in VMG, in the formula, we've included a nutrition blend. We call it the nutrition blend. And this is composed of 4 different superfoods. We have amla, guava, moringa, and lemon. And the definition of a superfood is a food or botanical source that is exceptionally dense in nutrients. And so you can imagine that these 4 superfoods coming together now, providing the majority of micronutrient content in VMG Plus, it makes it one of a kind. In fact, I mentioned, a couple decades being involved in research and development, product development. This is not only uncommon, but really unheard of to have all natural, botanically sourced micronutrients in a product. So I don't imagine that people are going to see a product just like this. It's more than just a greens product. It's more than just a delicious powder drink mix. The second component that I described, the cellular support blend. When you talk about foundational wellness and supporting our health and wellness, we do this at the cellular level. Because cells contribute to tissues, which make up organs and our whole organism. And so if we want to have good health and wellness, we need to support our cellular health. And so we do this with unique ingredients in VMG Plus that help to neutralize free radicals, for example, that will otherwise contribute to oxidative stress. And that oxidative stress, it really starts to wear down how different enzymes and proteins inside of our cells are working or not. They should be working. And that causes problems. And then the third unique aspect, and this is, where essential oils come into play with VMG Plus, is the bioavailability. Like, we can design the most amazing product, but if you can't absorb it, it's not
useless. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You won't be able to benefit from it like you should be. So we include unique delivery technology like the liposomes and the essential oils that allow our cells to actually absorb and utilize the nutrients that we've included in VMG.
That's amazing. So as an example, I'm talking for myself here. I know I am iron deficient. Do you think that VMG could help somebody like me, maybe absorbing better the iron contained in the formula?
We did some clinical studies to look at the rate of iron absorption. Okay. So iron was our mineral of choice that we wanted to demonstrate the increased absorption. And we saw a 6-fold increase in iron absorption compared to iron that is not delivered in the same way. So with essential oils, with the liposomal delivery. And so it absolutely does help people to absorb not just vitamins, but minerals and other phytonutrients.
Okay. I'm excited to try that out.
Yeah.
You just mentioned just now liposomal delivery. Could you please explain that a little bit more and what it means? Again, for some of us, we're not necessarily aware of what even liposomes are.
Sure. Yeah. Liposomes, not the most commonly recognized term, right? But it's pretty straightforward in the sense that all of our cells, they have a structure to them. Yeah. They have a cell membrane. And our cell membrane is made up of a lipid bilayer. So bilayer, 2 layers together. And the phospholipids that make up the cell membrane, that's the same structure that a liposome is made up of. And so by delivering nutrients in a sphere that mimics the structure of our cells recognize that structure. And therefore they're able to better absorb the nutrients when they're delivered in this manner. And even beyond just absorption, we're able to retain those nutrients longer. So we talk about bioavailability, and that's certainly important, but bioretention is also really important. Having those nutrients stay in the body longer just increases their value.
And this term bioretention is something that when I started studying the product was a term that was new to me personally. So again, is this something that we should talk about? Is it something that we should educate ourselves more?
Yeah. I mean, so a lot of nutrients, we have fat-soluble nutrients and water-soluble nutrients. Water-soluble nutrients are generally more readily absorbed, but they're also more easily cleared from the body. And that's not always a good thing. It can lead to depletion of important micronutrients. So this bioretention, nutrients staying in the body is really, really valuable. And that's one of the reasons we're utilizing this delivery technology to increase the bioretention.
Amazing. Have we done any tests to see how much longer the nutrients are staying in the body and when actually our body is absorbing whatever nutrients it's needed at whatever time?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked this question. It's like you're reading my mind. This is great.
Perfect.
So the same types of tests that show the increase in bioavailability. You'll take blood samples and look at how much of the nutrient is there in the blood compared to not delivered in the same manner. And we can see in the area under the curve from the blood sample, what is the concentration in the blood over time? So how many hours later compared to the non-liposomal, non-essential oil delivery method versus the method that we're using in VMG Plus. And we see an increase so the initial spike is where we would see the increase in bioavailability. And then how long that level stays elevated is representing the bioretention. So we see this extend out 8, 10, even 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
Where typically you'll see it drop down again, and it's more pronounced with water-soluble nutrients that it drops down.
Oh, wow. Does it also mean that we might get more energy out of this product? Like we might feel a bit more alive and just ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, you think of the production of energy inside of the cells. Yeah. We take food or fuel and it's converted into cellular energy or ATP. And this process, glycolysis of converting carbohydrates and fats in particular into cellular energy requires important vitamin cofactors. And we are providing those cofactors in VMG. So with the increased uptake, with the increased retention, your cells have those cofactors to be able to convert that fuel into energy. So that absolutely does increase. One of the benefits that people will appreciate is increased cellular energy.
Amazing. It sounds like you've created something like a perfect recipe for our cells to just run along and do the job perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, is that we're making sure that the nutritional gaps are no longer gaps, right? That this is designed to be a convenient way for people to make sure that they're consuming these nutrients that they need to then have, their highest quality of life, have the energy that they need, the mental clarity and focus and memory, the immune defense that they need. So all of these different areas that we recognize as quality living, it really comes from having the nutritional support.
That's amazing. And I know obviously we have some very special essential oils included in this product. So could you please tell us more about these specific essential oils?
Yeah, I mean, doTERRA, of course, is known for our essential oils. We have, unrivaled sourcing network, and we understand the chemistry of essential oils like no others do. And so we've leaned on that unique knowledge of specific essential oil chemistry to enhance the micronutrient absorption. So lemongrass, ginger, peppermint, wild orange, for example, we wanted to take advantage of the constituent chemistry of those essential oils, which have good research on increasing gut permeability, for example, or activating enzymes that are involved in digestion. And in this way, by including these essential oils with the liposomes, we improve the bioavailability and the uptake of the nutrients. And so it's not that the essential oils are imparting a specific flavor or aroma. They play a specific, valuable functional role in the VMG Plus formula. Well,
we have 2 little sachets here. So what do you say? Shall we try it?
Let's do it.
Perfect. So how do we take this product? How do you personally take this product?
It's designed to be convenient. So it's pretty convenient. Not everybody loves to swallow a bunch of pills, for example. So we designed this ready to mix, goes into solution, you drink it. The most important thing, and how I like to do it, I put the most important tasks in my day at the beginning of my day.
Okay.
I won't be distracted by everything else that's going on in the day and forget about that. So I use a product like VMG in the morning. And for 2 reasons. One, I won't forget to use it. And then perhaps even more importantly, my body now has access to those nutrients all day long. But it's really easy to use. It tastes great. It's convenient delivery format. So that's kind of how I use it, and that's how I recommend most people use it.
Okay, the little taste test. Cheers. It's just delicious.
Pineapple mango.
I cannot believe. I think the first time I tried this, I was trying the US sample, and I was in total disbelief because I did try my fair share of green powders, and the taste, it was just disgusting. It was very green.
Yeah.
And this is completely different.
Sometimes I've tried products like this where it reminds me of a kid playing on the grass and your face gets pressed into the grass.
I know the feeling.
But
obviously you mentioned the difference a little bit between this and taking pills, but can we go one more layer down and talking a little bit about the differences about VMG Plus and LLV? And I know they're completely 2 different products, and again it would be maybe like asking you what's your favorite child.
No, it's a very logical question that we get a fair amount. Both products, Lifelong Vitality and I guess our Foundational Wellness or VMG Plus, they're designed to provide lifelong vitality. That's the product promise. And so I've described it before. We're supporting the same outcome through 2 different paths. One of the advantages of a product like VMG Plus is just the convenience that we're combining multiple products into one. Yeah. So when you look at the 75 plus ingredients in VMG Plus and the delivery format now, Lifelong Vitality is fantastic, right? 3 different products together. You can split them out, which some people might like to do for various reasons. But with Microplex, Alpha CRS, and Z Omega, you have different components. In VMG, you get a consolidation of those different blends in VMG, providing those benefits. So the cellular support blend in VMG is delivering a lot of the same ingredients and benefit that you get in Alpha CRS. By combining these into one product, we make it easier for people. So there's a big focus on ease of use, just an amazing experience. You can taste and share this product in ways that people typically wouldn't do with a handful of pills.
Yeah. And I know you've already answered this question in probably another format, but who is this product for? Who was it designed for?
Yeah, really, the nutrition, the micronutrients in VMG Plus are required by everybody. So that's why the base of our wellness chart is nutrition and digestion. That is, it's really a non-starter for everybody. Like, you have to begin there. And so it's a product that's designed and intended for everybody to use.
So would you say that if we had to adapt it to maybe younger people or teenagers, would it be all right taking maybe a third of a dose and then developing, slowly building up to the full dose?
Yeah, people will do that. And I've done that. For example, I have 4 children and they're not, adult-sized children. So dosing is typically approached from a weight perspective. And so you can imagine if you've got a child who's half of the typical size of an adult, then a half a dose would be appropriate for them. And it works out well that way because a lot of families who may be using the product will split doses like that.
Now, can we talk for a second about routine? I'm a person who really thrives in having a routine, a morning routine. I just enjoy, I wake up, I go to the gym, I take my supplements, and so on and so forth. So how does VMG Plus fit into maybe your routine personally, and what do you combine it with?
Yeah, the most important thing for people is consistency, right? If you want to really move the needle in your health, you need to be consistent. And we know this, right? We know this with all different areas of our life. Consistency is key. So for me, like I mentioned, I use the product in the morning so I don't get distracted and forget to use it. But I actually enjoy combining it with MetaPower Advantage. I'll often also put in MetaPower Recharge. And I've heard of people pulling in like PBSS sticks, for example. I don't always use the PBSS sticks with this product. It becomes a lot of flavor for me. And also I'll usually, take PB Restore and use that as a capsule. But it's very easy to combine with other products, particularly that you can just mix with water. And I'll do that in the morning.
So can I ask, you said you're using this in the morning. Would it be okay or safe to use it on an empty stomach, let's say, or is it best to be taken with a meal, with a breakfast?
Yeah, one of the other advantages about VMG, because of, it's about a 10-gram serving. We have 2 grams of protein in there. We have a lot, 330 different phytonutrients that are part of this. So the recommendation for people to consume supplements with food is generally because they don't have those types of companion nutrition. But VMG, 2 grams of protein, dietary fiber, the phytonutrient content, it's actually very similar to a typical food. And so although we would say consume supplements with food, this supplement is like a food. Yeah. So I don't usually eat breakfast, and this will usually take the place of it. So I don't, I consume VMG with MetaPower Advantage, and I'm not necessarily layering that with food.
And now that I have you here, I feel like I need to ask the pro, are there any secrets, tips and tricks that we should implement in order to have this really structured routine? I know you said consistency, but is there anything else?
I think most importantly is consistent use of the product. And then we talked earlier about the importance of, healthy habits and combining consistent use of the product with other healthy lifestyle choices. So you can't be ignoring the other areas of your life that you should be getting daily movement, you should have a good diet, you should have healthy connections and getting enough sleep. You can't cut those corners and expect to have the same outcomes just by using the product, right? It's kind of a two-step approach. You need to have the lifestyles and the product to get the maximum results.
Okay, so no secret.
Well,
it's really simple.
The secret is be mindful of both of those things. So I think, sometimes people will say, oh, I didn't have the same experience or results as somebody else with the product. Like I was using the product, but I didn't have the same results. And you start to talk with them a little bit more about, tell me a little bit about your lifestyle. And you can quickly see, oh, okay, you're both using the product, but you're not sleeping like you should. You're not getting movement like you should. And you can see that if there's a separation in the lifestyle factors, then that can be an explanation.
Yeah. And obviously we've designed this product to work hand in hand with our, again, newly launched E-Omega Plus, and also part of the foundational wellness, a gut microbiome support might be PB Restore or PB Assist Plus. So can you talk us through the whole magic trio?
Yeah, I mean, it's intentional that those products belong where they do, the base of the wellness chart. So E-Omega is really providing our healthy fats, omega-3 fatty acids. And it's no accident that omega-3s are in the top 4 nutrients ever studied, that there's more than 40,000 publications on these. There are a couple of terms sometimes I refer to as like pleiotropy or polypharmacology, basically meaning you can have a nutrient that impacts multiple downstream outcomes. And omega-3 fatty acids are one of those nutrients where they're just a lot of different health benefits from consuming those healthy fats. And this is recognized all around the world. So you have approved health claims with different governments in key markets all over the world for consuming omega-3 fatty acids. And most of those are tied to cardiometabolic benefits. So you talk about things like improved insulin sensitivity or triglycerides or blood pressure. These are cardiometabolic parameters. When we talk about the importance of a healthy microbiome in PB Restore or PB Assist, diversity is king. Like we need to have a diverse microbiome. But we've been talking about micronutrients, and how do we get these micronutrients from the product into our body? It happens through the digestive tract. Okay. And so having a healthy digestive tract with these healthy bacteria is really critical to being able to take advantage.
Alex, is there anything that we haven't covered yet about this product that we should know about?
I don't know. You can get into, like, there are 5 different blends in VMG Plus. We've done a number of different clinical trials on looking at different health benefits that are a result of using the product, even for 6 weeks, for example. And we talk about the importance of consistency, but the product is designed really to just be your convenient one-stop shop as a base starting place for everybody. And if you're tending to the foundational wellness needs, the chances are good that all the other layers of that chart and the health benefits that people are looking for are going to come a lot more easily.
This is my very last question, I promise. But I cannot live without asking you, what is your if not top product, doTERRA product, at least give me the top 3, please. I know it's difficult.
Yeah, favorite child question again.
Yeah.
The favorite. VMG certainly is a candidate for top favorite because everything that we've included in there, from the delivery technology, the essential oil inclusion, all the different nutrient types that we've included from botanical sources, we don't have another product like it. It's very unique in that way. We have some pretty unique components in PB Restore as well. The dual chamber capsule delivery is pretty unique. Postbiotic, prebiotic, probiotic. Metapower Advantage is also very distinct as far as, more than 70% tripeptide collagen tripeptides, 9 different types of tripeptides, our natural NMN source for NAD production. So I would say, even though there are some products, probably due to their complexity, that kind of stand out as like, wow, this is really special. Every product that we design and offer at doTERRA is intentional. It's unique. We are intentional about pulling in essential oils to help drive the efficacy of the product, of the other ingredients in there. So they're very complementary to each other. Those are a few products that I really think are
I think you picked
stars.
3 great products, to be honest. So well done. It wasn't easy.
Thanks.
Alex, thank you so much for giving us your time here today. I know we had this conversation about VMG quite a few times, but every time, selfishly, I feel like I'm getting something new, and I wish I want to scribble down notes every time you speak. So thank you. That this has been really, really helpful, not just for me, I'm sure, but for our listeners as well. So
you're welcome. It's been my pleasure.
And maybe next time we can talk about Metapower Advantage.
Let's do it.
Who knows?
Yeah. Thanks, Luda.
Thank you so much.